Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode of Fishing North Atlantic with me, Box Gaming. Today, we are going to be doing continuation to the Secrets of Trawling. Last time, we were on the Hermes doing bottom trawling. Now we're going to be doing Pelagic Trawling, which is more of a topwater-ish type trawling. We're going to be fishing specifically for mackerel. With Pelagic, you can fish for mackerel or pollock. Unfortunately, pollock is something that we can catch as much as we want with the Hermes. There's a boat crashing into the dock over there. But with the Hermes, we can catch them whenever we want. With this, we are specifically going after mackerel, because mackerel only comes around for 4 months of the year. So without further ado, let's head on out there. So unlike trawling with the bottom trawlers, aka your Dexter or your Dexter or your Hermes, with the Lunar Bow, especially for mackerel, you are going to want to know of a fish habitat. I luckily have found one that is in deep enough water and very, very short, so this should make it a lot easier to find them. The Lunar Bow can go into any of these what color blue would that be? Sky blue? Between the 150 and 200 meter water, it can sit in there all day long. 100% of the time. Just don't go anywhere on this or that. It will be ineffective. It's dark in here. Where's my light switches? Up top, yep. They're up top. Oops, I don't want to turn the running lights off. More interior. There's interior. Such a weird angle. There we go. Compared to the Hermes, this boat has a much nicer walk around interior. I also like how they added a nice picture of the original Lunar Bow on the wall. Nice homage. And we are currently headed out. There's really no port here, like this one. Well, no struggling to get in and out. Just pull in and back out. Without further ado, I will cut back to us when we are getting ready to start our trawl. Couple of upgrades I should have mentioned before. If you buy the Lunar Bow right off rip, do not invest in the additional storage space. This thing already holds over 1 million pounds of fish. Mackerel and pollock don't weigh much. You will be out here forever trying to fill that 2 million pounds. Like, you will be out here for, not kidding, probably 10 plus IRL hours just trying to fill this thing. It takes forever. So I recommend just upgrading the engine all of the way and then getting your Scanmar and your head tools the way you want them. Got really bright all of a sudden. I do like the view of this one over the Hermes. I get at least a view of the back end a little bit easier. I do like where they have this Scanmar screen up here rather than down here. It doesn't make it hard. It does make it hard if you're trying to do it as much simulation as possible, because now you literally can't see what's going on at the screen while you're adjusting the wire. So that's kind of a unfortunateness. But without further ado, let's get our dudes ready to go on and set the trawl. As you see, we only need 4, since we don't need anyone to clean, gut, stack. We can just literally just use 4 dudes. For the most part, they could just stand out there the entire time. But I'm not cruel, so after I send the trawl in, I will let them come inside and rest. Doing pretty good. These guys are walking around the pole. I don't know why they take the long way. Why don't they just walk around the giant spool from where they come in to where they stand instead of walking all the way around the backside and all the way back? Seems like they could have saved themselves some steps there. Without further ado, let's drop this in. And while this is being dropped, we should go up to the front. Won't let me do the sonar here. I'd have to do it up there. Okay. It's kind of a weird place for it. So we do have some mackerel swimming below us, so at least a decent amount. So that's what I wanted to see. Kind of sucks I can't have like a sonar mounted right here or right here so that I can see if and what we're coming into without having to get up constantly. But understand, real life, one person would be here, one dude would be sitting in that seat, not me get up and stop doing what I'm doing and just go sit here and just let it sit in autopilot, because that shit dangerous. Autopilot don't know how to stop when there's a boat in front of it. It'll just keep going. So we've already caught a little bit of something. Don't know what we went through. Ooh, looks like we're coming up on a nice decent chunk if we keep coming down. So I believe the max depth of the Lunar Bow, I played in yards, caps out a little past 200. Since this is a pelagic, it's meant for much shallower water, so it's really not meant for going into this real deep water. It's meant for shallower water where you can corner the fish much easier. Here, the fish can just dive to a depth that you can't even put the net in. But we are still making slight progress. Oh, there we go. A little bit more. But you see those ones where it says depth 295 yards? Unless they get within 200 yards of depth, we are definitely not getting any bit. But I'm surprised. We're actually hitting really hard. This is a serious mackerel spot, I hope. I'd be very disappointed if we pull this net up and it says Pollock. For how big the Lunar Bow net is, that's a significant haul for our first drop down. I like it. Let's adjust our wire length. I got carried away with dropping it and not doing that. Almost there, almost there. Hold it right there. Let's drop the port just a little bit. So we're clearly hitting something right now. As you can see, the net is currently being pushed up. So we're clearly hitting something down there. Probably the top of the mass of fish, and they're pushing the net up. Because there's no way we're hitting the bottom and pushing the net up. That's from us bouncing on something. Oh, sorry, my dudes. Let's have you guys go in here. Which one do you use, my chef? That would be you. You should might as well cook up some food, just in case. If you want to play this game in like a more of a just put the net down and forget, the best way to tell how full your boat is or your net is getting is by looking at the seagulls. If you start seeing seagulls spawning in and then staying and hovering over, that's a sign that your net is currently filling up. The more full the net is, the bigger the flock of seagulls covering the top of the boat is. Don't understand how they know that the net is full of fish at this exact moment, but I'm pretty sure they've learned over time that big boat equals big fish when it come up. So scavengers at their finest. Shoot! Man. In international waters, just pull out a shotgun and be like, pow, 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 pow. Shorten the seagull population. God, they're annoying. Sounds like we have a whale nearby. Wonder where a whale went. I heard it for a second. I hear it again. It's very faint. It's getting louder. Is it underneath the boat? Where are you, Mr. Whale? Oh, there you are. No, don't leave me. Come on, give us a good wave for the camera. No? You're done? Alright. Thank you, though. Made my day a little bit brighter. Any progress made? Well, we made some. 184. 440 yards out. And they're currently going down. So let's try to get down up underneath of them before they drop too far, since we still have a good distance in front of them before we catch them. Just drop it as far down as it will go. Leave it like that for a minute. Just want to double check. Yeah, I'll just leave that going down. I'm gonna go explore the front really quick. Haven't been up there in forever. So yeah, opposite from the Hermes, where the net gets pulled up from the back and all the fish get dropped down a slot into the cargo area where the cleaning and the stacking and all that is done. For this boat, a giant net will be picked up and strung along, or the giant net behind will be positioned over to this side of the boat, lifted up, connected to this pipe right here, and it will pump all the fish out of the net into the tanks down underneath in here. One thing I don't understand is how, I know nets have holes in them, how does water pump, how do they use water to pump the fish in here when the water would just fly out the net? Do they use like a vacuum or something? That's one thing that I've always been curious about. If any of you in the comments know how this thing actually takes the fish from the net and puts it into the boat, that'd be much appreciated. Oops, wrong door. Wish I could just sit on the couch and just relax. Pretend like real life. Go and take a break. So we're down as deep as we can go, which is about 238, 232. So we can't even reach those even if we wanted to. So the only smart thing to do is to pull the net up, and hopefully while we're pulling the net up, we will get lucky and just hit a residual school above us, and we will grab some of them. But what we should do is double check and make sure that we are at least still going over any mackerel at the moment. We are. It looks like it's just nothing but. Let's double check by going over here. Which one's sonar again? Here it is. Yeah, it's still nothing but mackerel underneath of us. Okay. We need to get our symmetry back. Another way to know if you're about to hit it big is when you're inside on this screen. When you're in this screen, it won't really show us much. But when you're in this screen, this bottom right-hand screen, when you start to really get on top of a fish school, the screen will like start getting brighter, brighter, and brighter, and brighter, and brighter to the point where it's like that entire cover, our color right over there in our bottom left, but covering the entire screen. That's how you know you're about to hit it hard. You're about to get some major fishies. Well, let's keep pulling it up. That's the only thing about pelagic, since you can only go so deep, and if you're fishing out here in the deepest part like I am, if they go too deep, there's pretty much nothing you can do except just look at them and wave as you pass by them, being like, hello, sorry I can't catch you. Oh, there we go. See, just pulling, raising the net, we are hitting fish from nowhere apparently. We'll get ourselves up to about 100 yards. There's another nice spot of fish. Like, I don't even know where they are. I don't see them on the scan mar, but they're there. That's the one secret about this game. Like, you can clearly see we are not going through anything, but the game says we are. So that's something you gotta understand, is there will be schools even if you don't see schools. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna sit here at this depth for a little bit. We're gonna wait until we get closer and see what that nearest blob that's 180 yards down is, and see if they stay where they are or if they decide to dive. If they stay where we are, then we'll drop down when we get within 200. But for right now, we'll just leave the net up here. Oh, we hit something for a little second, I saw that. I'd like to say I understand what this this line at the bottom. I'm assuming it's like also helping for flow, but I don't really know. But this is how I set up my my scan mark. Sorry, I should have done this way from the beginning. I always put my depths, my port, and my starboard. Try to even them up with how they are in real life. Kind of got those switched. Always have the catch in with it. And then the bottom screen below that, we have our lines on how the depth of the doors. We have our speed. Always need to make sure about that. This is how deep we are, the maximum depth of the ocean. This one's very important because it has that O right there that tells you how many fish are currently entering the net. There is another tool that does technically the same thing, but I like that one specifically. You don't need your spider. The The symmetry isn't really all that important, but the part that is the most important is this control one right here, which allows you to control the wires from inside this menu. Otherwise, if you didn't have the bottom left, the one in the middle, the one that says CTRL control, if that wasn't on here, you wouldn't be able to change support and starboard wires while inside this menu. You'd have to do it from outside. Like, you'd have to physically go to here, press up to reel in, or A to reel out, B to fix. It's much easier, especially if you're just trying to grind this out. Sit here and just hit up on your joysticks on your controller, or hit down and just swap them around. It's so much easier to just control in general. Let's drop our starboard down a little bit more. They did get within range, as you saw, as to whether or not we are going to get anything from that little bit right there. Hopefully we get some. Should raise up just a smidge. That explains why the blobs are getting smaller. We're not starting to come out of, looks like, the habitat. We haven't gone very far at all. Okay, so we should... There should be some more in front of us, not a lot. We might have to turn around here in a second and head back up that way. It doesn't look like we're hitting that top one at all. We'll do one more drop down to all the way its max, and then one more pull up. Maybe we'll get lucky and hit ourselves another random spot on the way down or the way up. What we're gonna do, raise it down, raise it up, and we're gonna see how much we got on that net. We may need to adjust course ever so slightly, even though I feel like we're good. It just feels like we're not hitting anywhere near what we should be hitting right now. Wait, this was habitat number 1. Where was habitats at? There it is. Alright, so they're both set. They're both currently at high, so shouldn't have any problem. Overfishing them, but I would assume that there'd be a lot more on the sonar than this little bit at a time. That's not as much per small as I would want. So that's why we're just going to drop it down and pull it on up. As you can see, there's nothing down there. Alright, we'll just start reeling this back up. Yeah, there's nothing down there right now. Sometimes what I found helps is just pulling the net all the way out the water, doing the whole haul the trawl in. That can sometimes reset just pretty much just everything in the water, I've noticed. Like, there'll be times where there'll be nothing for, I don't know, 5-10 minutes, like absolutely nothing on here, and I'll pull it up, I'll haul it in, even if I've only caught barely anything, and the moment I drop it down, there's just blobs and blobs and blobs of fish. So I don't know if it has to do with the net being in the water so long that eventually they just stop spawning in, or they stop showing up on the scan mark spawning in, and you need to basically refresh it by pulling it out the water and put it back in. I'm not 100% sure, but that's what it feels like when it does this. But yeah, pelagic is a much slower form of trawling compared to bottom. Since we're only going to be fishing for 2 types of fish, mackerel is extremely light. It takes a lot of mackerel to produce weight. But since they're also really small, you can fit a lot into the net at once. Whereas Pollock, they weigh more and they're bigger. You fit slightly less into the net at a time. Man, we are just really not coming through any zone. I really thought we would, really thought there'd be more mackerel right out here in front of or down in the zone path. So, like, as soon as we get to a depth where we no longer can start fishing, or at least starting to get more to pop up, but they're still too far down there for us to do anything with. Alright, so let's call our folks. Oh, he's done cooking. Good for him. Let's swap it to the haul mode and watch them. Oops, we're gonna have to go out the store. Guess we're just gonna get stuck this time. Okay. Yep. Okay. Sometimes I can walk around, sometimes I can't. Oh, I guess we'll just do it third person. Oh, no, they're already there. No, we missed it. Oh, we can at least see the doors coming up. And let's haul the trawl, and we can see how this net system works. Boop, just pops in like nothing. I've been there the whole time. You just didn't see me. And then we just drop it into the abyss. How much mackerel? 145,000 pounds of mackerel. Not terrible. Not great. As you can see, that was a little bit over a tenth of, a little bit under a tenth of the boat filled. So you can see that unless you're hitting them perfectly and getting that 80% max full boat, you're going to be out here for quite a while filling this this trawler up. But if you're in it like me, trying to get the achievements, you're gonna need this thing to get the mackerel achievement. I believe you have to catch like 1,000 tons of mackerel for the final achievement of it. So this is pretty much the best boat to do it with. You could do it with the other pelagic trawler they have. I don't remember what its name is. I know it's cost around 9 million in this game. This costs about 20. I'm sorry about that. But the one that costs 9 million, that one, the net, that one in the net, I think it only holds 80,000 in the net at a time, and I think the maximum amount it can, or the boat can have with the max haul upgrades is, I think, 260,000 pounds. So you can drop the net in 3 times and pretty much fill the boat. Pretty much easier. But I recommend, though, if you're gonna start off with trawling, go straight for the Dexter. Not Dexter, the Dexter. Because that one will, you can start making some serious money with that. You won't right away. You'll be making around 500,000 to about $1 million with the Dexter. Make sure they're clean and cooked. But what you're trying to do is build reputation at that point with the port, unless you've already done it with your long line or deep line, kept going to the same port and leveling up so you get that reputation and get that extra money. Definitely want to make sure that's leveled up enough so that when you do come in with a nice massive catch, your crew members don't end up taking $250,000 cut because of just how much in their percentages. But on that one, thank you for watching. That was a general idea on how to trawl with pelagic. If you like the video, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. I'm trying to get to at least to 10 subscribers by the end of this month. If I can do that, that would be greatly appreciated. But on without further ado, I will see you guys on the next one. All right, bye bye.